Welcome to another episode of the 89 Garage. Today I am going to put the 140 Speedo in Frankie. Today I am going to put the 140 Speedo in Frankie, clean a few things up, get it looking a little bit better. I'm not going to sit and go through the whole process again that I did of getting the lens looking good on the 89. I will post a link up above, whatever site it is, and you can check it out there. I'm gonna use the exact same method again. And I'll post the, what I'm going to start doing is posting, I have registered to become an Amazon affiliate, and so I'm going to start posting the stuff that I use, the products I use, the tools that I use down below, so you can go check them out, buy it, whatever, and it'll help me out, help you out too. I appreciate it, and let me just show you what I'm starting out with here. I'm going to be using this to just clean this off. And then I'm suspecting this lens is in better shape than that lens. This has some pretty deep scratches in it, but if that's better, I'll use it. It's been so long since this has been clean that I don't remember the condition it's in, but it came out of a car that only had 100,000 miles on it. So I'm gonna wipe it off and I'll be back. After wiping them down, it kind of looks like Frankie's might be in better shape, although this is on the inside. So I'm gonna actually, maybe that one's not. This is on the inside though. You can also see that it got down in here, whatever it is. So now I'm just gonna Johnny disassemble it, and then we'll look a little bit harder. So some strange findings here. If you don't know Ford's numbering system, part number system, E8, the E is for the 80s, 8 means it's an 88 part number. So that is an 88, Z means Mustang. Anyway, so all these here, 88, you know, that's what we'd expect on an 88. This came out of an 89 LX. So this is an 89. This is an 88, which is 100% fine though, because they didn't need to revise it at all. I mean, even this is 88, but I come over here and this is 91. 90, in 90 they changed the instrument cluster, so I'm a little bit concerned as to if this will still work if I put it in. So I might just wind up throwing this speedometer into this cluster and just calling it good. The other thing is, if you look on the back, there are supposed to be a couple of nuts hanging out of that. I'll show you on this. This is for the voltage meter. There's supposed to be a couple nuts back there, and let me show you. And some studs also hanging out like that. That's gone. So 100% hunky-dory to just swap this with this. One thing I was looking forward to though is all the bulbs. Not all the bulbs work in this. I was hoping they would work in this. So it's probably going to be a little bit of trial and error, and I might not be able to do it. Well, I can probably shut the lights out in the garage. But I'm going to have to figure out what lights do and don't work. I want them all to work, because literally like this over, none of the bulbs worked on Frankie. So another thing I'm thinking about doing, and I wouldn't normally do this, but I don't want to sit and mess with trying to find all that stuff in you know, normal, the way it should be. You know, the dark gray. like they came with. I would rather it was like that, but I might throw some silver on this just to make it maybe match a little bit better. I got another one if I decide I don't like it. This other one's just going to wind up being parts now because there's not much else I can do. I mean, I'll have a spare tack and a couple spare gauges. Anyway, let's proceed to that, and I will be back. I'm sure you guys don't really care. It's literally a matter of popping this out and the other one back in. Just pop this one out real quick. Figured I'd show it to you. Gonna do the same thing on the 140. I don't know if I can do it with one hand though. Probably not. One thing I decided I am going to do is I'm not 100% certain that the fuel gauge works on Frankie. Figured, you know what, instead of digging this stuff all back out and figuring out that was my whole problem, I'll just swap that right now. And well, let me just show you. All those pegs, they plug in to those. There's 3 on each gauge there. And you just push it. Actually, it's easier to get the speedometer back in there without doing that, so I'm not going to do that quite yet. Yeah, we're just going to leave all that. Needs a little dust and we'll be good. I took this in the house and cleaned it up. Then over here, I painted this with aluminum. It's just a little bit tacky still, but it's out here in the sun, so it won't be for much longer. Rolling with the chemical guys, Headlight Restore again to get after this. By the way, I got it all the way back. I went through and you can pretty much tell which bulbs were burned out, so I replaced those. The silver, that's what you're going to be able to see right there. I don't know, it looks okay. You won't be able to see up there when it's in the car, but I went ahead and got me some chemical guys on this with a couple toots of water. This one was actually the one that was already in Frankie, this lens. The lens that was on that 140, it just had what appeared to be more work needed, and it was also busted right here, so yeah, that was not in as good of condition as I thought that it was, but we're making do with what we got. See if we can't get, so you can see that. Hopefully it looks better here in a minute. I'm not going to film that like I did on the other one. Folks, I'm literally like 2 minutes into this, and look at that already. I just did about where the end of the part number is there. That's what it was. Look at that stuff. I mean, it's got some scratches in there that may or may not come out. They're kind of deep, and some of that is actually fingerprints from me holding it from the back side. But I don't know if you guys can tell just how good that stuff is working on this. This stuff is the bomb. It works good on headlights too. All right, that is a million times better. Don't know if you like the silver or not, but this has scratches in it that just aren't going to come out, and it's not in nearly as good a condition as the 8.9 was, but it looks better. So I'm going to get in here now and clean some things up, and then we'll stick this thing in. My objective is going to be to just basically clean this up really nice. Well, better than it is. Much like we got this side somewhat done. depending on what direction we take with Frankus here, I might order some of the paint from LMR to take care of that at some point. But for now, I just want it to be clean. It's been filthy since day one, as you can tell. So I'm going to clean that up. I'm going to, I don't know if I'll get to this tonight, but I don't know if you saw in my other video, just all the harness tape was just falling off of this. So I'm going to do that too before I button it up. So I got her this far here, guys, and decided to see if any of the bulbs work. Looks like I got a bad bulb up here and right there. Couple bulbs got replaced now. I replaced 3 of them. Looks like we're all on now. In the phone, it looks like we're dim right here, but I don't know. I'm gonna go compare it to the 89 real quick. I don't think there's a bulb right there. Let's walk next door here, guys, and see if I'm nuts. If I gotta pull it back out, I will, but it's definitely brighter in there. On the screen here, anyway. I'll go back around and see. What's funny is if I put this on photo, it looks just fine. It's lit up. It just doesn't look like it is in this video. It is the next morning. I spent last night getting that thing ready for a car show today. So I'm out here just kind of tackling some little things with Frankus. And then I noticed something now that the light has shifted outside. It's going to bother me, so I got to fix it. I don't know how easy it is to see, but you can see that arrow and you really can't see that one. So I took the tack out of the other cluster, and it does appear to be brighter than, it appears to match this. So I'm going to take this back apart and throw that other tack back in there. So I got the Speedo and those out. I showed you how to do this one yesterday. The speedometer is pretty much push in. But on this here, you kind of got the same idea. Let me show you this other tack. It's just those 3 push-ins right there. So I'm gonna have to let me shut this camera off for a second and I'll be right back. It just takes 2 hands to get it, but yeah, just those 3 push right down into there. That's where the tack gets its signal from the backboard. Got ahead of myself. This here should go in before either side. It's just way easier to get this back together if you do that. All right, they somewhat match now. I just got back from Utah Motorsports Campus. Just had this thing in a show. There will be a video on that will probably actually be done before this, just because this video will be much easier to edit. Got some garage laundry to do. This thing takes a lot of laundry. One thing that happened, I left the ignition on. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I left the ignition on for probably 3-4 nights. So right now I've got this thing. This is just a maintainer, actually. This is what I put Frankie's battery on and the 89's battery on during the winter to just keep them maintained, and I've been doing it on this one for 3 years. So anyway, let's get back in here. I got to kind of catch myself up on where I left off. So I got the cluster all put back together, all back in here. Looks like I need to put some panels back together. I also need to pull this down and organize it some. Wrap some of my favorite tape, the 3M Super 33 Plus. Best tape on the market, period. I really wanted to somehow draw this in because I'm not replacing those. That's not worth buying those. So I figured, might as well make it somewhat match. It does all right, I guess. So I've got just these panels here that need a going over, and they're dirty. And then I'm going to use the stuff that is Armor All on steroids, and I'll show you that product coming up as soon as I clean these. So I went through, cleaned up some of this stuff in here. Kind of wanted to get some of this all straightened out. This is all the multifunction switch. This is your ignition switch. So I wanted to get this all tied up so it's just not dangling. It just looks better like this, in my opinion. So all the harness tape was gone. It had been cut into, all of it was falling out. So I went with the 3M, and I'm impressed. I'm happy. It looks much better. Got these really nicely cleaned with a toothbrush, a microfiber towel, and my best friend, Simple Green. I'm telling you right now, this cleans so much for me. I don't know if you remember, under the hood of that, got all cleaned with it. We got this all, it looks almost new. Got to put that thing back in, but anyway, I'm gonna get back in the car and we will go ahead and put these pieces back in. I'm under here trying to figure out where all my screws went. I'm missing some screws and trying to figure out where under. Hey, that's mine. That's mine. I saw it first. Ha. Made out like a bandit under here. Roll of tape. A quarter. This is the stuff that I said is Armor All on steroids. This is the one thing that I like a lot. It restores a lot of the discoloration that you get when you clean with degreasers and stuff like that. Sometimes your stuff becomes discolored, such as right here. Now that was not from the Simple Green. That's actually from a degreaser that I was using because this thing had a bunch of grease on it. I should have just used the Simple Green, but I didn't wipe that off, so this is the residue that it leaves. And this will actually restore, I don't know what it is, oils or whatever is in the plastic that makes it shine a little bit. But I've used this stuff and it works very, very well. One can make assumptions that they're using this in the outer space, but I don't know. So let's go ahead and use this, and let me give you a grand tour of before. Now it's not going to fix these scratches or anything like that. When it's saying restoring color, it's not meaning that. It's meaning discolored plastic like this. And I'm hoping that it'll make this look more gooder. So, there's your grand tour. You're seeing everything. Oh, try to keep it off of your instrument cluster. The afters. Made that look more gooder. Made that look gooder. And I mean, it's not a million times better, but maybe about 45. I think if I keep going over this over and over and over again and just letting it soak in the juice, it might turn out all right. Probably need to go over this just a little bit more too, but overall it looks better. Probably looks better in a car that's not so hammered though, to be honest with you. So there we have it, guys. There is the 140 Speedo in Frankie, and all is well. I'll take her for a spin later. I've been out in the heat the entire day today, and plus I got to clean all this up. At some point also, I got to figure out what's up with this install. There's an entire mess behind it. It works, but not so well. Are you serious? As soon as I hit record, that fly landed on my lip. So I went ahead and became an Amazon affiliate. I buy most of my stuff from Amazon or Rock Auto. When I use a product in my videos, I'm gonna throw a link down in the description henceforth, so you guys can see exactly what I'm using. And if I could ask you to click that link when you actually go to purchase, that would help the channel out a lot, help support the channel, help me to grow. And also, if you'd hit some subscribe action downstairs there, that'd be great as well. So before I close out this video, I better show you. Got her all done. She all looks much better. Thanks for watching, guys. Till next time. Peace out.